It's a boiling hot day in Samarkand and I'm at iconic classic cars. And the reason I'm here is I wanted to make a video on the 300ZX. Now, it's one of the icons of the 90s, one of the great sports cars, when Nissan got up one morning and said, we're going to go head to head with Ferrari and Lamborghini and Porsche and build something that can compete at a good price. Anyway, Steve from Iconic Classic Cars, a new company which has got a crazy scale and a crazy inventory already and huge ambition. He said, we got 4 of them. Come and take your pick. Come and have a look. Do what you want. So I picked this one. I thought this looks fantastic. I'm going to make some video on this, introduce you to it. So let's get started. Let's crack in. Stay tuned. So the 300ZX, the Z32, came out in 1989, replacing the Z31, which itself was a highly regarded car, but this is totally, utterly different. The shape is completely different, even if under the skin, the floor pan, the powertrain, it's evolutionary, but this was big and bold. The 90s was when the Japanese were on fire. The technology, the styling, the designs, the interiors, the engines, the power, everything was leading the world. And the 90s for JDM is the golden era. It's one of the great eras for cars worldwide. And this was Nissan's calling card. This was Nissan saying, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, we're coming for you at a price people can afford. And with a 3-litre V6 twin turbo, it's a rocket ship. They had something that looked good and pumped. So I want to look at the styling on the front end and talk about that. And this is the perfect angle, 3/4 front. It looks strong, it looks really aggressive, it looks really pumped up. And what this car has got is it's not standard at all. It's got the Bomex body kit on it, front bumper, rear bumper, side skirts. Now, if you know your JDM, Bomex is one of the old famous JDM names. And in fact, if you're a Fast and Furious fan, you'll know it from the Fast and Furious Supra. And just rather handily, we've got a Fast and Furious, or less so, Mark IV Supra sitting behind as a perfect prop to just emphasize my whole JDM point in this place. Anyway, we've got the Bomex kit, which is to reduce weight, composite materials, and we've got more composites in terms of the bonnet. And I really like these carbon fiber trimmed ducts that pull the air back out of the car. We've got carbon fiber bonnet clips, racing style, and the Diablo headlights, which came out onto this car because regulatory changes in the US, in Europe, meant that you couldn't have pop-ups anymore. They've got carbon fiber trimming on them as well. They look great. And we've got a carbon fiber trimmed lip spoiler on the front. Looks cool. And I like this whole strong front end that this kit brings to it. And this pig nose grille, it really, really fits this car. The whole thing blends together, and this is even stronger than a normal 300ZX. This is one aggressive car. So onto the back end. Now, some of these panels, I don't really know how this back end has been done. My knowledge isn't great enough for that. So if you do know, please drop in the comments. Let's try and build up the picture on this car, fill out the blanks. Anyway, these louvres are really nice. They're color coded, designed for this car, and they blend in really well, give it a really more strong feel as well, adding to that strength. The rear spoiler, perfect. And we've got the Bomex rear bumper, and we've got quad exhaust exits as well. It looks really nice. But what I really like is this rear cover, and I have no idea who has done this at all. But with this small window and these like rubber slats in it, it feels like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. You drive up behind this and you don't know the 300, you might be thinking this is rear engine. And again, these kind of flying buttresses here as well. It all adds up. And this could be a mid-engine supercar when you come up behind. I really like it. It's really cool. And it's got a very minimalist, very race feel to it as well. So it all works pretty well at the back end too. I'm kind of liking this car. So I'm going to look at the wheels and tyres and the brakes, and first of all, it's got big 4-pot Brembo calipers here. They're huge. These are racing style. You could get them on a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. It's got big calipers at the rear as well, cross-drilled vented discs. This is saying Ferrari, Porsche, Maserati, I'm on your level here. This is going to stop dead. Anyway, the wheels and tyres, it's running on 275 30 19-inch Toyo tyres, forged wheels. I don't know this brand, but it's the whole BBS racing style. And I think the guy who's built this car, he's really wanted to get across that racing feel into it, the different touches on the car. He's wanted to get more than just a fast road looker cruiser. He's wanted to build something that has that race feel to it. And when you put this style, this pattern of wheels on it, you're saying racetrack. I just want to mention the interior, but just very briefly really, because it's pretty much stock. But I would say this is one of the best interiors of the 90s. Nissan got this one really right. You have that real sports car feel in it, that really raked windscreen. And with the T-bar and the panels here, it's very light inside as well. I'm 185 centimeters. If I was in a Ferrari, if I was in an XJS, my head would be just banging off the roof. But here I'm fine. 2+2 in the back. There's a bit of room if you stretch me right back, and not a lot of leg room, but it's a usual 2+2. You can get the kids in the back there. Unfortunately, this being an auto market, it's got an auto box, but the buyer who comes in here for this car, he's going to want an auto box anyway. So the boxes literally are checked there. It's got a Gredi boost adjuster down here as well, so you can play with the power as well when you're driving. So let's look under the bonnet at the engine. It's got these racing style catches on it. Composite bonnet, so it's pretty light. Under the bonnet, squeezed in, is Nissan's famous 3-litre V6, the VG engine, VG30 DETT to give it its exact name. One of the great engines, beloved by tuners. This engine looks pretty stock, to be honest, and somewhere down here as well we've got 2 turbochargers, but this is one packed out engine bay. All looks pretty stock, pretty standard, delivers a lot of power. We've got some signs that maybe there's some upgrades, and we've got a custom aluminium radiator has been built for the car as well. So we've got an upgrade in terms of the radiator, which in a climate like Thailand is pretty important. So I'm done with looking at this car. I just wanted to kind of talk about a 300ZX. And then these guys, Iconic Classic Cars, they said they had 4. Talk about one of the 4. I looked at them, I thought this looks fantastic. Let's have a chat about that. Let's introduce this car because it's very, very interesting. I like to get to the details and see how people have done builds. Anyway, time for me to go. Big thanks to Iconic Classic Cars. Brand new company, but boy have these guys got ambition, and boy have they got an inventory as well. The place is absolutely amazing. For sure, I'm going to be back here fairly often, and for sure this car is going to get a for sale sign in it. And the way the prices are going on these, someone's going to look straight at this. Either they're going to say I want to drive this, which would be me, or they're going to say I want to make an investment, which wouldn't be me, to be honest. So either way, I don't think this will have a for sale sign in for very long, because this is a really, really nice one. And that's it, over and out from me.